Hello everybody and welcome to the first lesson in a series that we're going to be doing on the subject of financial markets. In this video, what we're going to do is take an introduction to the subject of financial markets before outlining the scope of this series of lessons in the for the future, essentially. So, like I said, this is the first in a series of lessons examining the nature of financial markets for the Business Academy. The idea here would be to take a brief introduction to the subject, an idea of the kind of thing that we're going to be studying in this series, and then, like I said, talk about outlining the scope of this series of videos, outlining what this series of videos is going to naturally entail. And so really the question that we're asking ourselves is, what are financial markets? What do we mean when we talk about financial markets? What are the kind of things that financial markets are concerned in? And what are the kind of things that you would study when doing a series of videos or a series of lessons or a series of lectures, shall we say, on the subject of financial markets? Financial markets operate in a similar way to that of plenty of other kinds of markets in the world and in reality, fundamentally. So then that therefore begs the question. Let's take a step back and then ask a more broad question. What then does it mean to call something a market? What is a market? Well, simply put, a market is a place in which firms or people, or even sometimes AI in these often quite technological days, can buy and sell goods and services. That is really where a market is, or what a market is. And this gives a huge amount of scope to what really can and cannot constitute a market. Because on the one hand, you can have in-person markets. You have street markets, for example, on some certain days in towns and cities around the world. You can also have online markets. eBay, for example, is an online marketplace where you can buy and sell goods and mainly goods for often cheaper than if you were to buy them brand new. Somebody can sell any item they want on eBay, and anybody can purchase them on eBay. So this is an example of a market which exists online. But like I said, you can have markets that exist in physical person. You go to a market on a certain day, on the weekends, for example, there may be markets and market stalls set up in town squares. And this is another example of where people can buy and sell goods. You could also have markets for specific goods and specific services. So, for example, there are such things as fish markets that exist out there, or just more broadly, food markets or clothes markets, where the only thing that they buy and sell, or you can buy and sell, is fish or food or clothes, whatever it is that you're thinking of. All of which constitute examples of what a market will be. What then does it mean to call something a financial market? So these are what markets are. What is a financial market? Well, simply put, taking the definition from the previous slide of a market, a financial market is just a place or a system, okay? The reason why I put in here we've got the reference to the system is because there are some financial markets that are online, completely automated, completely electronic, for example, and then there are some that actually have some kind of physical presence. So a financial market is a place or a system which allows for the buying and selling of financial instruments. So there is nothing necessarily unique about a financial market in relation to how it operates necessarily. There are some certain extra regulations that have to be adhered to, but fundamentally, a financial market is just the buying and selling of a certain thing. The thing in question that makes it a financial market is that we're talking about the buying and selling of financial instruments. So in the same way as suggesting that a fish market is the buying and selling of fish-based goods, seafood-based goods, a financial market is the buying and selling of what I've put in quotation marks here, financial goods. It's almost like financial goods, for example, namely financial instruments. Well, then this begs another question. This requires further investigation to go a little bit deeper. What then are financial instruments, okay? You've told me that a financial market is just a place or a system where we buy and sell financial instruments, but you haven't told me what a financial instrument is. Well, a financial instrument can be anything really that involves the kinds of things that relate to finance and to money essentially and to capital. So this includes, for example, for the most part, corporate securities. You can have equity securities in the case of stocks and shares, for example, and you can have debt securities in the sense of bonds. These are financial instruments. You can also have the trading of currencies, so the dollar or the pound, for example, all of which are also financial instruments. You can also have a little bit more some certain that are quite speculative and refer to things like futures and options markets, derivatives and derivative markets. Again, we'll get to this in future lessons time, but these are also elements of financial instrumentation. Today, financial markets are also able to facilitate the trading of less traditional instruments. So they used to be only things like stocks and bonds. There only used to be bonds at one point, and then stocks became also important. And there only used to be things like currencies and stuff. But now we can think about things such as cryptocurrencies, which are also considered to be financial instruments that are traded with financial markets. Certain elements of non-fungible tokens like NFTs are able to be traded as financial instruments as well on these kinds of markets. So all of these things also facilitate, are able to be facilitated as trades in the financial market system. And you have all kinds of things that you can buy and sell on financial markets. If you just open up a brokerage app, something like eToro or Trading 212, for example, and you were to have a look at the kinds of financial instruments that you are able to purchase and then eventually sell when you've got some kind of portfolio, it includes not just corporate securities. It doesn't just include stocks and bonds, but it also, like I said, includes currencies, derivatives, cryptocurrencies, NFTs. It will also include valuable materials like metals, like steel and gold. You can also trade in collections of securities, these sometimes known as indexes or indices, things like the S&P 500 or something like that. You can have I believe there's the London 500 or the England 500 or whatever, which is essentially just a collection of the top 500 companies, and you take a sort of aggregate of that, and that is what you trade. You trade on that, all of which are elements of trading that you can do and facilitate when you talk about financial instrumentation. Simply put, therefore, a financial market is a facilitation mechanism whereby those who have capital and are able to invest that capital in said instruments are able to do so, and those who have assets that are available to gain capital by way of a financial investment. So things like if you have a company that you want to float on some kind of stock exchange, for example. With all this being said, therefore, let's think about the scope of this series of videos. What are we actually going to be talking about? Fundamentally, this series of lessons is going to be an introductory guide to financial markets. We're going to be talking about the history of financial markets, we're going to be talking about the functions of financial markets, and then start to talk about the individual markets one at a time and the key elements of them and the key characteristics of each of them in far more detail. It will be divided up into the following set of lessons. Now, I am tempted to include other elements at other points in this series of lessons, so don't take this initial scope in this video to be the definitive structure of this series of lessons. Fundamentally, though, I'm not going to be taking anything out of this series of lessons, out of this scope, but I might be adding some additional things in. So there's no losing out, essentially, but this is just a little disclaimer at the beginning here. The first thing that we're going to do is talk about an introduction to financial markets. Like this video here, the next video we're going to talk about the history of financial markets. We'll talk about the way in which financial markets operate today, their purposes and their functions, the kinds of things that they are useful for, just as a sort of foundational analysis of the series and as a way of just building a solid bedrock of our understanding in terms of definition of what financial markets ultimately are. We will then start to talk about the individual types of financial markets that exist, beginning with foreign exchange markets, then moving on to looking at money markets. We will look at equity and debt markets, so talking about stocks and shares, and then talking about bonds, for example. We'll talk about commodities markets, so things like the trading in gold and the trading in silver and platinum, for example. And then we will start to talk about some of the more high and advanced stuff, so things like futures markets, options and derivatives as well.